Hey guys, welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. This is Chandra, and today's tarot card reading is for Karen. And in this video, we're going to be talking. This is actually the second tarot reading we're doing for Karen this evening. And this particular reading is about Karen really tapping into that shadow side of herself and trying to get some answers, see how she can kind of take that shadow self and be able to understand it better so that she can transform it into a more compassionate and creative aspect of herself. So that's the question, is how can she do this? And by and large, what she's really wanting to know is how can she really understand that shadow self, that dark side of ourselves, that dark nature, and how can she use it to transform it to be a better person, be more of a light, that kind of thing. So yeah, so let's kind of focus on that, send some good vibes, and see what the cards have to say. I really like doing readings like this. And guys, if you guys haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. You can hit the bell icon also. That way you can get notifications when we do the live streams. As this channel starts to pick up more and more, I'll probably be doing a lot more live streams versus those more edited videos that I've done in the past. Just because time restraints and everything like that, I just think it's easier to honestly do it off the cuff and just make it a little bit more genuine and just keep it real. And yeah, that's a whole kind of thing. Let's just focus for a moment here. So we're focusing on Karen and this shadow self, this dark self, and trying to get some answers, trying to understand it better. Get the cards warmed up here. Got the cards. And the first card that we have is King of Wands. Kings are people in control. Wands are very fiery energy. So in this particular card, we have some very grounded energy with some very fiery energy. In the past, Karen's pretty much felt in control of things, like able to be creative, able to express herself, able to take action when she felt like she should. Very much in control. Current situation, we have this card. So this card here, if you look at it, this is the Five of Swords. Now, swords are about mental conflict, and that's really what's going on right now with Karen. It's this thoughts. And one of my favorite quotes, you guys will probably hear it a lot on this channel. It's from the Bhagavad Gita. It's a classic Indian text that comes from the Mahabharata, which is one of the longest, it is the longest epic poem ever written. Well, this small section of it's 18 chapters, and in one of those chapters, chapter 6, verse 6, there's a quote, and I just absolutely love it. It's, "For one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. For one who has failed to do so, the mind will be the greatest enemy." So here we have a person that's, they're conquering. They're the victor. By the way, 5, you see the 5, the Roman numeral 5 there. 5 is really all about change in numerology and changing situations and that. And that's what's happening now with Karen, as she's wanting to move in a different direction. In this particular card, it's been about kind of winning at any cost. It's about whatever I have to do, whatever I have to say, whatever it takes to get ahead, I'm willing to do that, and no matter who it hurts, and so on and so forth. But the problem is that having done that, or in the process of doing that, what ends up, or what tends to be the result, is we don't feel that sense of victory, that sense of winning. So by winning, we're actually, in this sense, losing. And that's right now where the mindset is. This is where Karen is. And this mental, and you see this, it's a very conflicted card, that dark side versus the light side. In the future, probably around 3 months out, this is what we really see. Now, if you look at this card, it might look like someone dead or in a coffin or something like that. But what this card really actually is, this is a Four of Swords. Again, we have the mind, mental. But in this case and all, it's not about coming out victoriously, because what comes after this card is a card that we're at right now. So we're kind of taking some steps back in this card. So in the future, we take a few steps back. We retreat. We go into this here place of we're equipoised. We're taking some R&R. That's a good way of putting it. Some rest and renewal, some rest and retreat. This is a card of supplication. It's a card of prayer. It's a card of just getting our thoughts together, collecting our thinking, trying to figure out. You see some stained glass in here as well. Looks like it could be in a church or something like that. Oftentimes, churches are great places for prayer, of supplication, of getting some peace, a spiritual place, a holy place, something along those lines. It's a sense of spirituality, something that's consuming us. That's where we're going to be at in the future, Karen. That's what this card is really all about. Probably about 3 months out or so, maybe 3 to 4 months out, I'm picking up. Now, we have really the answer to all of this, and it's the Hermit. Hermit, of course, pretty self-evident. It's about being alone, going it alone, but it's also about collecting wisdom and guiding ourselves in the right direction that's right for us. We'll talk more about it in a moment, but here is really the energy around everything, and we have the Page of Wands. Now, interestingly enough, this is the same card, I believe, that came up in the last reading, or in a previous reading that's been done. This particular card here, this Page of Wands, is really about new growth, new opportunities, but it's also about taking action, and it's about creative endeavors and things on that end. So it's really about new lands. It's a message of hope for newness, of things coming about. It's a very good message. And that's where the energy is surrounding this message of kind of this winning at any cost kind of thing. Hey, Harmony. Thanks for joining. See Harmony in the chat here. Welcome to the channel. I hope you can hear me okay. But yeah, thanks so much. I'm doing these live streams now, so it's good to have you on here. So our next card here, this is really the hope. This is the mindset. This is everything. This is where Karen really is at this particular moment. Thank you. And this here is the Two of Pentacles. It's about balancing our finances, balancing our money, but it's also just about balancing resources in general. So this can, if you look at this card and stuff, you see the waves, and they're kind of choppy. It's choppy water. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're kind of down in the valley, and that's really what this card is all about. It's about, it's just, the twos are about relationships also. So it has that dimension in it as well. And it's about balancing relationships with others, but doing it in a nice way that's balanced, that's grounded. And the coins are really about being grounded as well. You notice his foot's on the ground there instead of in the water. So that's kind of the advice. That's kind of like as far as where you're at mentally. It's about trying to take this more balanced approach to doing things. And that's really evident in the question that you're putting out there. Now we have the outcome card. Now this outcome is really this particular card here is the tell-all card. This is really kind of the outcome of what, if nothing changes, if you proceed along the path that's expected of you to proceed, this is probably what would be the outcome. Now, the caveat here, kind of the disclaimer, is that you have the ability to be able to change this however you like. You don't have to buy into that this is your only choice or that this is a guaranteed future. This is just if nothing changes, or if you decide to continue pursuing things in the direction that you've been pursuing them. The good thing about a tarot reading is that you get this advice before the fact instead of after the fact, so that you can make those decisions for yourself. Let's look and see what that card is. Wow. Wow. So this is that heavy burden card. So this is really the same thing that we've seen in the last reading. This is about carrying that heavy burden. And so a lot of things have just, it's basically saying that, if change doesn't happen, if you don't get by yourself and you keep on entertaining these relationships, the answer here is the Hermit, is to get alone. You need a little R&R right now. This is going to give you a lot of insights into that deeper, darker self. Otherwise, that dark side of you, that shadow self, it's just going to weigh you down, weigh you down, weigh you down. And unfortunately, it's just going to get heavier and heavier. Now, it's not saying that you can't carry that load. It does show that you're able to carry the load. But who really wants to have that backbreaking work when they don't have to, right? The solution is the Hermit. And look at the Hermit. He's got his own walking stick, his own wand. And, in his other hand, he's got the light. And this is to help him walk. In this, it's hurting the walking. You notice the person's back is going out of alignment. It's becoming more and more, it's instead of being a crutch, it's becoming a real hindrance. In this, it can be a crutch to really help us to move forward. But to do that, you got to get by yourself. Again, you have that supplication that's going to be happening in the near future. And then you can avoid a lot of this. Yeah. So really, that's what the cards are getting. Me personally, like what I'm picking up as far as this particular reading goes, is I'm getting this sense of there's a part of you that really does want to, get out of this situation that you find yourself in. I mean, just the aunt, probably some other relationships. We saw that walking away of the cups, walking away of the relationships. It really seems to be the predominant thing that's going on right now in your life. And it's kind of really the direction that it seems that you really want to take. The cards are giving you 100% permission to do that. In fact, they're encouraging it in this particular case. Now, I'm often very hesitant or cautious to tell people to avoid relationships instead of trying to work things out. I'm a big believer that oftentimes there's a solution to certain things. In this particular case, I don't see a lot of solution because, like I gave you in the previous reading with your aunt, it was sort of along the lines of like, maybe she has got like a personality disorder. She's not going to change. So it's sort of like you just have to, people with these type of personality, you just have to really accept them for who and what they are. You can't change a narcissist. You can't fix them. You can't, really help them. And oftentimes what happens is people either grow up in narcissistic relationships or know people that's a narcissist or get into a relationship with a narcissist. And they're very well-meaning people, but the narcissist has, depending on what type it is, can really have control or reign over you and can be very exhausting, cause you a lot of mental grief, mental anguish. We're seeing that in the cards a lot. So that's why I'm kind of leaning more toward the direction that it could be something more mental health related with her, something that's probably not going to be changeable. And if it is changeable, it's probably something that's going to have to take it's going to be a long process. One that's going to be very heavy for you if you try to move too much into that direction. And I see positive things ahead for you in the near future. I see really like your cup overflow with, I see like what you're desiring, you're getting more of, like that, those new type of things, this new good energy, positive energy is coming into your life. I'm really strongly picking that up. You're on a good trajectory. You're on a good path. I'm going to tell you to stay on that path right now. Don't get off the path. And that shadow self, that thing that's really haunting you, it's going to start to fizzle away. It'll be behind you before you know it. But a lot of it is just you really taking control of your own mind. And once you do that, you'll see that a lot of this energy, this shadow side of yourself, it was just illusory energy anyway. It wasn't real, but it's just our mind, this mental aspect of ourself telling us or leading us to believe that it is true. Right now where you're at, it may be a little bit harder to understand that or to really get that. Hopefully you can, and hopefully I'm doing a fair enough job of trying to explain it to you. But by the time that you get a little bit further out, about 3 or 4 months from now, you're going to be in a completely different place mentally. Get by yourself, distance yourself from this, I don't want to say toxic relationship, but let's just call an ace an ace, right? So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, of course, please reach out to me. I'm always here for you. again, if you guys want, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button if you like the video, hit the bell icon if you want to subscribe and get notifications. And like I said, we'll probably be doing a lot more of these live streams more frequently, just because it seems like, you know, people are needing more and more help, and I've been getting a little bit more busier. And so taking time to do the edits and everything myself does kind of, you know, take a toll. I mean, so it's just probably a little easier, a little bit more authentic even to just kind of do the live streams. And plus I like interacting with people. So hopefully people like Harmony here will continue to interact, and we'll have some fun with this. So thank you guys so much, and namaste, blessings, peace, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for tuning in.